to talk even more on this. Joining us now is national security expert, CEO of Sentinel Security Solutions, and former Homeland Security Department advisor, Charles Marino. He's also a former Secret Service special agent and the author of Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country. Charles, thanks again. I know you were watching this as well. What are your initial thoughts about these new details?
Well, as Alicia was saying, a lot of detailed information, which at the end of it tells the American public that this investigation is far from over. This is now an international investigation based on the travel of the suspect. We brought up Cairo, Egypt. We heard about that. Was that trip tied to his radicalization, or is there more based on that travel? Was he instructed directly by ISIS, for example? Did he go over there to obtain training? Did he go over there to seek financial support? So there's a lot of other questions. And then you've also got U.S. travel that the FBI is going to be looking into in the Atlanta area being one location. Was there any form of support for the suspect in his planning? But, you know, as far as the information about the pre-surveillance, the pre-planning, all of this is very disturbing, along with the recording on the meta glasses. This shows a very methodical process on the part of the suspect. And ultimately what happened is the security plan for the site was not enough to deter, detect, and disrupt this attack. So we have a single point of failure in the design of the security plan at the site. But ultimately, that needed to serve as the last line of defense for these unfortunate victims that lost their lives and were injured. So a lot of work remaining here investigatively. I think this keeps the threat level very high here within the United States, because this suspect was not to the attention of the FBI. So the main question is, how many unknowns are out there in the United States presently conducting the same type of surveillance and planning at other locations?
And what other safeguards need to be put in place to harden these targets in other cities around the United States as well? Some other troubling details that we got. You know, people have been hearing about these bollards. I think it's a word that it wasn't even in everybody's vernacular, right? But there are these cylinder steel or concrete barriers that will go, you know, in places we've seen them all across the world. Really, I used to see them in Australia even. And they're reminders of these awful ramming attacks. I think we've got a timeline of what we can see. These started back in 2015 or so in Nice, France, and we've seen them happen. And so these safeguards are in place. But what we're learning about these bollards, not only were they under construction in time, that were set to be done in time for the Super Bowl, wish they'd been done for the Sugar Bowl, wish they'd been done for New Year's Eve, but would they have even been sufficient? There's a new report out that they wouldn't withstand any more than 10 or 12 miles an hour for a vehicle. And this vehicle was going faster, and others could as well.
Yeah, again, another huge problem, the fact that they were inoperable, and are they even the right grade to prevent a vehicle attack? But, you know, the other concerning thing, Anna, is why they weren't compensated for. Why weren't these big dump trucks brought in, for example, like we see in New York City? Look, every city has these types of municipal resources, I call them, where you could bring in these big trucks and close down the streets and the sidewalks. You hear the mayor talking about large events like the Super Bowl and Mardi Gras, how they're going to receive a special event assessment rating from the Department of Homeland Security of a level 1. That's just below a national special security event. The truth of the matter is, not every single event in every single large city is going to get a special event assessment rating, and nor are they going to get the support of the federal government like they do for events like the Super Bowl. So every city better wake up in this country and start planning security to match the actual threat level. It was no secret that ISIS and Al-Qaeda have been trying to inspire those that are radicalized and become aligned with their ideology to use vehicles to commit a mass casualty event. This was an open book test for the city of New Orleans, and they failed.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.